is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, I hope everyone can enjoy.
Calls in the storms Thursday. Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crew's here telling me.
This is the first time in a long they haven't let it. Send us some of your pick.
Isn't it good to work for a place that has a sense of history? And indeed it is.
See, taking the president from Spring to College Station following.
If you have something you'd like Channel 2 Investigates to check out, call the tip line at 713-223-TIPS or email investigates@click2houston.com. Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Today.
Good morning. We've got some breaking news in Southeast Houston this morning. You are looking now at the aftermath of a wild chase. Investigators say the driver leading that chase was 17. Two other people were 16 and 9 years old. We are going to have a live report from the scene coming up in just a few moments.
Well, Super Tuesday, one of the big days of the 2020 presidential campaign. Some candidates have dropped out. And coming up, who they're getting behind this Super Tuesday.
Now, if only we could vote on the weather we're going to have today. Unfortunately, Mother Nature, the only one who can control that. Britta will tell us when the morning fog is going to clear out and when those scattered showers are going to move in.
Hey, are you ready to rodeo?
Yeah.
Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo officially opens today. Here is a live look from NRG this morning. There's the stadium. Amy Davis is somewhere
running around.
trying to find some food or something to do. But anyway, we'll get a preview of day one in a moment. It is Tuesday, Super Tuesday, March 3rd at 4:30. I'm Owen Conflenti.
Good morning. I'm Tanaya Wright. Justin is in with a check on the roads, and it's a bit foggy out there already.
Yeah, fog's going to be an issue this morning. You and I were just talking about that it's a little thicker in spots, especially out on the west side than what we get yesterday. I know I got the finger waggle going already. Well, I just say, watch out.
It's only 4:30.
I know. I say I haven't had enough coffee. I'm getting all lively here already this morning. Yeah, so we'll watch out for that. I've got a heavy truck stall on the north side. Otherwise, things are pretty much clean and green so far. Let's hope we keep it that way.
Definitely.
Yeah, and thankfully we're getting in Super Tuesday on Tuesday, not Wednesday, because weather's going to be a bigger player tomorrow. With that said, we do have fog this morning. We do have shower chances, and the best chance of that will be this afternoon. So if you're planning on heading to the polls after you pick up your kids after school, squeezing it in before the evening commute, have your umbrella with you. That's a live look from our tower camera. A little bit of light patchy haze out there, but not looking bad. Temperature-wise, we're in the low 70s. It is very warm outside. Typically, we would hit about 70 degrees for an afternoon temperature this time in early March, and we're going to be topping off at 80 degrees this afternoon. We are tracking thick fog that's mainly, on the west side. I mean, we're down to a mile in Katy, but we do have a few spots to the east of Interstate 45. The southeast side hovering around 2 miles, so some patchy light fog in southeast Harris County. Usually we do see visibility tank right before sunrise. So as we get closer to 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, we will see it become fairly thick. Temperatures all hovering around 70 degrees. As I said, we're topping off at 80 degrees this afternoon. There's a look at that afternoon rain chance. I'll take you hour by hour with that so you can plan out your your rodeo plans and also your voting plans for later today. Justin, over to you.
Thank you very much, Bertie. Yeah, speaking of voting as well, just want to make sure everybody knows that Metro is providing free rides to and from polling stations all day today. So if you don't have a way to get to a polling station, hop on one of the Metro bus lines and they will get you there for free. North Loop at Shepherd, we had a heavy truck stall. Looks like that's cleared. I don't see it out there on the map so far, but the bigger story, as Bertie mentioned a second ago, is the fog. You can see I've got the fog turned on, so it's basically from the inner loop as you work your way down towards Hobby Airport. Gets a little thick out towards the west side as well, and then as we head in towards Liberty County, we're also seeing some fairly decent fog. It's not having any effect on the travel time so far, but I do want to caution you, just give yourself a little bit of extra time. As I was driving in this morning, coming in from downtown on Southwest, it's not too thick there, but as you go from the outlying areas, you know, Katy, for example, it's going to take about 21 minutes. The Brookshire, Fulshire area, as you get just off of I-10 there, my guess is it's fairly thick. 12 minutes in from LaPorte, 19 as you get in from Clear Lake down to Pearland, 288's all nice and green right now. Same thing coming in from the Woodlands, no problems. And then Kingwood, if you're rolling on in from the northeast side, we're going to be looking at about 21 minutes, guys. I'll continue to keep you updated on that, and we'll keep hitting the mention as well. If you do want to head to the polls today, as I mentioned, Metro rides are free.
All right, Stapleton, thank you. 4:34, the breaking news from Southeast Houston. Investigators say a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 9-year-old are in the hospital after all three led police on a chase.
Police say those three juveniles were in a stolen car when they crashed into two innocent people on Scott and Tristan. Channel 2's Sophia Ojeda joins us now live from the scene with the very latest this morning. Sophia.
Good morning. That is exactly what investigators are trying to figure out, why a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a child under the age of 12. They are getting conflicting reports if the child was 9 or 12, but why they were all together in that stolen vehicle. Take a look at this aftermath here. This is the scene behind me on Scott Street. The stolen vehicle is the white vehicle. HPD says this car was traveling northbound more than 100 miles per hour. The other car was coming out from a side street. That's when the stolen car slammed into that silver car. The stolen vehicle, we're told, was going at least 100 miles per hour. Investigators say it hit the victim's car so bad that it sent the engine flying more than 100 feet away into a side parking area. Police say that white car was stolen just moments before it was spotted nearby after 1 o'clock this morning. Police tried to pull that vehicle over, but it took off.
This is the latest in a rash of these young people running from the police and crashing into just everyday normal citizens and either taking their lives or causing catastrophic injuries.
Nonsense.
It's just that there's no reason for it. And I think the important message is stop.
Investigators say the three people in the stolen white car, the 17-year-old, the 16-year-old, and that child under 12 years old, they were not wearing seatbelts. The 16-year-old passenger had to get CPR here at the scene. All three, including that child, were rushed to the hospital. Also, the two other victims in the other vehicle were rushed to the hospital. No word yet on their conditions this morning. That driver, that 17-year-old driver, is now facing several charges, including aggravated assault, evading police, and endangering the welfare of a child. He now faces up to 100 years behind bars if convicted, and that, according to the assistant district attorney, is if no one dies from their injuries. We'll stay on top of this story and check back in with you, give you an update, hopefully on the victim's injuries and why that child was in that car with that 17-year-old driver and that 16-year-old passenger. Hopefully we'll have an update for you in the next hour. Reporting live in Southeast Houston, Sophia Ojeda, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
4:36 now on this Tuesday morning. The novel coronavirus, the deaths from that virus have now spiked here in the U.S. 4 more people have died, bringing the total number now to 6. All of those victims are in Washington state. Across the country, though, there are more than 100 confirmed cases in more than a dozen states. At last check, there are no confirmed cases here in Houston. Today, President Trump will visit the National Institutes of Health in Maryland. Scientists and health professionals at the facility are now working to contain the impact of that virus.
4:37, it's Super Tuesday, and politically speaking, it lives up to its name.
It really does. It's the biggest primary and caucus contest yet. Texas, among the 14 states taking part in Super Tuesday, more than 1,300 delegates are up for grabs. So right now, here's a look at the current delegate count. Super Tuesday could determine a clear leader for the Democratic presidential nomination. So this all comes after a pretty surprising Monday on the campaign trail. Amy Klobuchar dropped out of the race, but she, Pete Buttigieg, and Beto O'Rourke threw their support behind Joe Biden.
We need to unite our party and our country.
We need somebody who can beat Donald Trump.
This morning, the polls open at 7 a.m.
Voters must be registered. You must also present a valid ID at the polls. The approved IDs, we got them on the screen here. Things like a driver's license, handgun license, U.S. passport. If you don't have those things, you can bring one of the following supporting documents to the polling place, like a voter registration certificate, an original birth certificate, a bank statement, or a current utility bill. That's among the options there.
Our Super Tuesday coverage will also include a phone bank. KPRC is teaming up with the League of Women Voters Houston and Telemundo Houston to answer any questions that you might have about today. This is going to go from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m. We will announce that number coming up in our 6 o'clock hour.
Right now at click2houston.com, we've got a Super Tuesday cheat sheet. You find out where to go vote, what's on the ballot, and how you can get a free Metro bus ride to your polling place. You'll find the story under the politics section. All right. Look, it's my first rodeo every year. I always say this: break out your hats and your boots.
You need
it's time to go. If you don't have a new pair of boots, go get the old ones and dust them off.
Yes, rodeo starts today. And right now, our Amy Davis is live at Energy Park all morning long. She's going to be giving us a look at everything from the animals to the carnival. Amy joins us now live from the Bow-Legged H with what you need to know about day one of the rodeo. Amy, tell us.
Hey, good morning. At the Bow-Legged H, we came here first just inside the gates. They open for you and anybody else who's wanting to come out to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo at 8 a.m. today. And the competitions and all the things start at 8 a.m. And then the Ag Venture opens up at 9. So if you've got little ones who are not in school yet, that might be the best time to come out and beat the crowds. But we are telling you everything you need to know about what happens today and throughout the entire run of Rodeo Houston that goes up until March 22nd. You know what I did that's really handy? On my way out here this morning, I downloaded the Rodeo Houston app on my cell phone. And what's really handy about this, it shows you all of the performers, who's performing every single day, and then it'll give you a schedule, step by step, the lineup. So you can see, if you click it, it tells you, okay, beginning today at 8 a.m., the first is NCHA cutting. So that's the first thing. It's happening in NRG Arena. So really a great way to plan your trip out here. Another thing you can do that's new this year is this rodeo rally. So when you sign up and you run into all of these little QR codes, you just scan them with your phone and you can collect digital buckles. When you get so many buckles from each of these things at different exhibits and all over the rodeo fairgrounds, you can then turn them in for prizes here at Rodeo Houston. So coming up all this morning, we're telling you everything you need to know. Next up, we are talking transportation, because there are a few different things you need to know this year. People always want to know how to avoid the long walk from parking all the way in, how much you need to bring to pay if you are going to park here. We've got all of those details coming up in about half an hour.
All the info we need to know.
It's tough to avoid a long walk completely, but if we can make it a little easier, we'll do something. Are you right,
But
Amy?
you can do it.
We'll help you out a little bit. Well, if you had an iPhone 6 or 7 for 2018, Apple might owe you some money.
It's all because of a $500 million settlement on a class action lawsuit. How much money iPhone users could get coming up.
Special needs, right?
And a shocking confrontation at the home of the Los Angeles County District Attorney.
Get off of my porch. I will shoot you. Get off of my porch.
You see it right there. That armed man is the DA's husband. Why he was pointing a gun at protesters who came to their home coming up. Time right now.
Good morning. Get off of my porch right now. Get off.
From around the nation, Black Lives Matter protesters say they were met with a gun when they came to the home of the Los Angeles District Attorney. That was the video you saw of David Lacey, who's accused of pointing the gun at the group after they showed up at the couple's doorstep. No shots were fired. His wife, the District Attorney, Jackie Lacey, got emotional as she apologized on his behalf.
He wanted me to say to the protesters, the person that he showed the gun to, that he was sorry. And he's profoundly sorry.
His finger was on the trigger, and he had trained the gun at my chest. I'm a mother.
Protesters say they only showed up because Lacey has refused to meet with them to discuss police brutality.
Apple might owe you some money. The company is now settling a class action lawsuit claiming it purposely slowed down those iPhone models to make people think they needed a newer, faster one. This deal covers U.S. owners of the phones that are listed right here on your screen. They will be entitled to a $25 fee, or dollars per device that you had that was slow. Now, they could go up or down depending on how many claims are actually filed. This payout is expected to cost Apple about $500 million.
All right, former Astros players still speaking out about the sign-stealing scandal.
Coming up at 5, what former Astros closer Ken Giles says he would do with his World Series ring. Good morning. Time right now is 4:47 on this Tuesday morning. Live look outside at the Southwest Freeway. Britta will have your full forecast coming up in just a few moments. Well, Los Angeles County Sheriff is now apologizing for deputies who took and shared graphic photos of Kobe Bryant's crash scene.
8 deputies were involved in this. The only officials authorized to take photographs of the scene were NTSB authorities and the coroner's office. Sheriff Alex Villanueva says their behavior is shocking and, quote, a punch to the gut.
They were all present, and reassuring them we're doing everything possible, and then to find out, days later that this happened, it's just a sense of betrayal.
The sheriff also says appropriate administrative action has been taken and that the photos have been deleted so far. As far as we can tell, the photos, again, of the Kobe Bryant crash site have not turned up on the internet, despite the fact that they were taken. I mean, these days with a digital camera, it's kind of hard to imagine.
I know, and his wife spoke out. It's just, she's devastated by this. So again, hopefully they never do end up on the internet. All right, time right now is 4:48 on a Tuesday. Britta and Justin are here with a check of traffic and weather, and there's a bit of fog out there.
Yeah, I mean, fog's going to be part of our morning drive. No advisory right now, with the exception of the direct coastline marine interests. So, of course, they'll be dealing with that. But it could get in the way of your morning drive. So just give yourself that extra time out the door. Even without an advisory in place, you're going to notice it. It is light and patchy close to Hobby Airport. We're at 3 miles, but fairly thick at the coast. Of course, that's where we do have a dense fog advisory right along the direct coastline. You're down to a ½ mile in Galveston. Currently out on the west side, Katie, you're at 1.5 miles. Sugar Land, you're around 4 miles, so not too bad coming in from Fort Bend County at this point. But as we get closer to sunrise, that's when we tend to see the visibility drop pretty dramatically. So around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, some of these spots could get fairly thick. This afternoon, we're going to crank up the heat. 80 degrees, so very similar to yesterday. Warm, muggy, mostly cloudy skies. Notice that we do have a chance of rain. Best chance of that will be this afternoon, but we're looking at 30%. So a few scattered showers are expected. No severe weather, but if you're heading out to vote after you pick up the kids after school, good idea to have that umbrella handy. Meanwhile, Wednesday is still the day to watch. We have this huge spin of low pressure moving over Baja. That is going to push into West Texas and produce that threat of severe weather for tomorrow. The timeline looks to be focusing mainly on the afternoon. We can see a few showers in the morning, but you'll see that we are really going to highlight Wednesday afternoon. For today, warm and muggy. We have this front that's kind of stalling out on top of us, and that area of low pressure is going to ride along it, and that's going to focus all those showers and thunderstorms right on top of southeast Texas for Wednesday. If you're traveling up to Dallas, they're going to have those issues as well, and they do have that chance of thunderstorm activity. By Thursday and Friday, we clear out the skies. Everything looks great for the end of the work week. There's a look at your Futurecast model, nice and tight. This is this afternoon. Again, a few widely scattered showers, but as we go into Wednesday, that's when we're expecting those stronger thunderstorms, a few of which could produce some small hail and gusty winds. Again, most of it's going to be from lunchtime through the afternoon, so I think the evening commute and our afternoon commute could be a little trickier than what we're seeing for the morning commute tomorrow. About 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rainfall, so no flooding concern, but you can always find some tricky spots on the roads when heavy thunderstorms move through. And there's a full look at that 10-day forecast. Justin, it is looking just beautiful after Wednesday. Cooler temperatures, sunny skies, perfect for rodeo.
Yeah, it sure does. It should be real nice. Coming up here a little later this morning, I'll talk about the rodeo parking situation, which I know everybody always wants to know. Where can I park? Can I take Metro down there? Where's the Uber and the Lyft lots? All of that information. So look for that. We'll have that here in a sec. First, let's take a live look out at the Gulf Freeway at Broadway. Looking A-OK so far. Everyone behaving nicely as they work their way in, unlike yesterday when we had that 7-car pileup. It's mainly the fog is the issue this morning, as Britta's been mentioning. So looking in the inner loop, we've got no slows there as well. A-OK on the Katy Freeway, either east or westbound. Gulf Freeway looking fine out towards Channelview. Good morning to you all on the east side. We're A-OK. okay out towards Crosby. It is a little thick up into northern Liberty County, and you notice it as you get back off to the west. We're seeing the same thing Bear mentioned a second ago. So NASA 1 into downtown looking good from Clear Lake. We're at 19, and as you go in from FM 518 to downtown, no problems there either. Same thing in the Hardy Toll Road. We're looking at about 18 minutes, 24 as you come in from the Woodlands. As I mentioned, if you're going to go out and vote today, Metro is free rides for voters. They'll take you to and from the polling stations. Just go to ridemetro.org. And your drive times, still, guys, everybody in the green. That's always good to see. We'll hopefully be able to keep it that way throughout the rest of the morning.
We're following a breaking news alert right now at 4:52. 2 people killed overnight when a tornado ripped through Nashville. The storm also knocked down at least 40 structures around the city. Police are now searching that area right now for people who may be injured. Meantime, the Red Cross is responding to help people who have been displaced from their homes. All right, now let's take a look at what's trending this morning. Chris Matthews, one of the country's best-known political talk show hosts, is now retiring from MSNBC. He made that announcement on last night's Hardball, a show he's hosted for more than 20 years. This decision comes after a series of recent controversies. He was criticized for misidentifying an African-American politician, comparing the Bernie Sanders campaign to Nazis, and allegedly making sexist comments to a guest on his show. MSNBC did not immediately name a replacement.
Lady Gaga fans can get excited. She says she'll release a new album April 10th called Chromatica. She released a new single called Stupid Love on Friday. Her last album, Joanne, came out in 2016. She's been busy since then, co-starring in that movie, A Star is Born. She won an Oscar and 2 Grammys for the song in the movie, Shallow.
James Lipton, the creator and host of the show Inside the Actors Studio, has passed away. He died at his home in Manhattan yesterday after suffering from bladder cancer. The show has been one of cable's longest-running series. Hundreds of celebrity guests, from Dave Chappelle to Tom Cruise, opened up about their success and even spilled their secrets. Lipton was 93 years old. This morning on the Today Show, they're going to take a look back at his legacy. That all starts at 7 o'clock this morning.
Whether you're smitten or recovering from a bad breakup, we agree love is powerful.
It really is, but there are the real physical effects that it can actually have on your heart. Coming up at 5, how you can help someone improve their health.
Call or visit a store today.
Good morning. We're tracking fog, and that's a live look at Seawall. You're visibly down to a half mile at the coast. Away from the coast, it's not as bad, but we have a few areas. Right now, the Southwest Freeway looking pretty good, but if you're coming in from the Katy area, be careful on the Grand Parkway and Highway 6, as visibility is a little bit lower on the west side right now. We'll get you caught up on what we're expecting for your Super Tuesday and Election Day weather coming up in our 5 o'clock hour, because it does feature some rain chances. Over to you guys.
All right, thank you, Britta. And as you make your plans to head out to the polls or even the rodeo today, be sure to check out our brand new What's Driving Houston page. You can find that on our website, clicktohouston.com/traffic. There you can take a look at any road closures and even sign up to get our weekly traffic email. Again, all of that on our website right now, clicktohouston.com/traffic. All right, stay with us. We'll have much more on Super Tuesday and rodeo coming up.
Message.
Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Today.
Well, this morning, the Democratic field has narrowed to 5 in the race for the White House as 14 states, including Texas, get ready to vote. It's Super Tuesday. Many are calling today's races the first look at how much of the nation feels for this presidential race. What you need to know today before heading out to vote.
And if you are heading out early to the polls today to cast your vote, you might have to make it through some heavy fog in areas. Britt is tracking your voting forecast and what the weather's going to be like for the very first day of rodeo.
All right.
We made it live here to Rodeo Houston. I think maybe the first people inside the gate, Caesar and I. We are checking out the Social Spur, brand new this year at Rodeo Houston. We're going to show you what you can do when you step inside this area. Here's a hint. You won't ever have to worry about your cell phone dying out at Rodeo Houston. We've got a whole lot more coming up.
It's important for all the selfies. Amy, thank you.
That's what I was thinking. Seriously.
Good morning. It's Super Tuesday. It's 5 o'clock. I'm Owen Conflenti.
Good morning. I'm Tanaya Wright. Justin is in with a look at the roads, and some people could be dealing with that fog.
fog? Oh, yeah, I think everyone's going to be dealing with that fog. Southsiders, if you get near Friendswood, for example, it's getting a little thick. West side as well is where we're starting to see. That's where Britt and I have been watching some of the visibility crater just a bit. Not only that, but also as you get out towards 90, if you're heading on up into Liberty County, it's pretty thick out there as well. So give yourself a little bit of extra time. Otherwise, it's clean and green so far. We haven't seen anybody misbehaving, as they say on the roads.
That's good. You got to give yourself that time to slow on down. Now, fog is actually probably going to thicken up as we get closer to sunrise. That's what we typically see. So what we see, it's only going to get worse from here on out. The good news is it's not going to be an all-day thing, and we only have a 30% chance of rain as we go into the afternoon. So just grab your umbrella and be prepared. This is a live look outside. Not bad on the southwest side. This is our tower camera. Notice the temperatures are really warm this morning, 70 degrees, just like yesterday. We're going to top off around 80 degrees. Meanwhile, this is a live look at seawall. Hard to see anything in Galveston. Your visibility at the coast down to a half mile. We do have a dense fog advisory right along the coast, and it affects the bay and also the direct waters right offshore. Temperatures right now in Galveston are up there. We're waking up to temperatures that are pretty close to 70 degrees. Right now, we're tracking some light patchy fog to the north of town in Montgomery County, but as Justin said, it does get fairly thick as you move into North Liberty County. Another spot to watch out for is closer to Katy, moving in from Waller County. You're going to have to slow down your speeds. You're down to about 3/4 of a mile. Any areas of fog will start to clear up between 9-10 o'clock in the morning, and then this afternoon you can expect mostly cloudy skies, 80 degrees, and a 30% chance of those afternoon showers. They'll take you hour by hour with your afternoon shower chance coming up, so you can plan all your plans from rodeo to voting. Over to you.
All right, thank you very much, B. So let's take a peek outside. Time saver traffic looking okay so far. This is a live shot from Southwest Freeway at Chimney Rock. You know this always gets a little busy in the morning when folks are starting to get in towards the West Loop and heading into downtown. So far, so good. Certainly nice to see that as well. The fog, as Britt has mentioned, is the biggest issue. See this little bullseye here right around Hobby Airport and Friendswood. We're getting a little bit of a slowdown on the southbound side, and that's about it. I'm going to go out west, though, and you can see things really starting to thicken up from, let's say, Katy over to Pattison down to Wallace. If you're in the Brookshire area as well, Fulshire, trying to get your way out towards the West Park, just give yourself a little bit of extra time. In the Cinco Ranch area as well, if you were out that way. Moving on down towards the Friendswood region. As you get out towards Ellington Field, we've got about 27 miles an hour. We've got a little bit of a slowdown. There's no crash, there's no stall or anything. It's just kind of getting checked up there. That's about the only spot we've seen so far. So as we mentioned in the fog, make sure you're slowing down. If you do have the low beams, turn those on this morning as well. Always, you know this last one here, put those phones down. Otherwise, just give yourself a little bit of extra time. Still looking green on the inbound traffic times, guys. 24 minutes from the Woodlands, 22 from all of our friends out in Katy. Sugarland, you're at about 24 minutes, and right now, Pearland looking good. You're going to scoot your way in here in about 10 minutes.
All right, Stapleton, thank you. Let's go to breaking news from Southeast Houston this morning. 3 juveniles, including a child under the age of 12, are in the hospital after a violent crash, which started as a police chase. Investigators say around 1 in the morning, the 3 kids were in a stolen white car, leading police on a chase, doing over 100 miles an hour, when they crashed into a silver car that was pulling out of a neighborhood on Scott Street in Tristan. 2 people in the silver car were taken to the hospital. Investigators say the 3 juveniles in the stolen car were not wearing seatbelts. They were all rushed to the hospital. The 17-year-old driver is facing several charges and a prison sentence that would basically amount to the rest of his life if convicted on all those charges. But we'll find out more from that, about that is, from our Sophia Ojeda, who's following the story. We'll talk to her live at 5:30.
Time right now is 5:04. It's Super Tuesday, and 14 states, including Texas, will head to the polls today.
So polls open here at 7 o'clock this morning. They'll stay open until 7 tonight. For the presidential race, here's how it works. More than 1,300 delegates are up for grabs. 228 of them come from right here in Texas. Only one state, California, has more delegates at stake than Texas. In the last few days, we've seen the end of the road for 3 of the Democratic candidates. Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar have both thrown their support behind Joe Biden as he campaigned last night in Dallas. Tom Steyer was the third one that got out of the race this past weekend. This morning, folks across the country headed their polling locations like this one, where we find Channel 2's Vincent Crivelli live this morning to break down what we need to know. Vincent, good morning.
Good morning. Well, make sure you're registered to vote and have the proper form of ID when you go to vote. Also, do your homework. Make sure you know who and what you're voting for. Super Tuesday has arrived to the Lone Star State. Texas has 228 delegates up for grabs, and yesterday, former Vice President Joe Biden held rallies in Dallas and Houston.
You have my back, and I promise I'll have yours.
Biden showed off new endorsements from former rivals Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg. However, in Texas and across the nation, Biden is still pulling behind Senator Bernie Sanders, but ahead of Michael Bloomberg. Rice University political science professor Mark Jones.
If on Super Tuesday, Michael Bloomberg can't amass a number of delegates that at least gets him somewhat close to Biden, there's going to be quite a bit of pressure on him to drop out.
And the Texas Republican primary, all eyes are on who will replace outgoing Congressman Pete Olson in District 22. Fort Bend County Sheriff Troy Nails, Pierce Bush, and Kathleen Wall are among some of the candidates trying to win the seat.
In a lot of races, what we're going to be watching locally are, does someone win more than 50% plus one and avoid a May runoff? And if they don't, which two candidates will be facing off in May?
Another race to watch, Democratic challengers trying to force Harris County DA Kim Ogg into a May runoff. And coming up at 6, we'll have much more, including former Vice President Joe Biden's trip to Houston. Reporting live in Sunnyside, Vincent Crivelli, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
All right, Vincent, thank you, sir, for that. Right now, Bernie Sanders is leading the charge in Texas, according to a Real Clear Politics recent average of statewide polls. Sanders 31% in that poll to Joe Biden's 26%. Then you see Elizabeth Warren and Mike Bloomberg behind with the 16% and 15% respectively.
And we're teaming up once again with the League of Women Voters Houston for an all-day election phone bank. Volunteers are here now, setting up right now to start answering your questions. That phone bank starts at 6 a.m. and it will close when the polls close tonight at 7. We're going to give out that phone number to you starting in our 6 a.m. hour. People will be able to answer calls in both English and Spanish. But be sure to watch our election coverage tonight right here on Channel 2. And then you can head to our website, clicktohouston.com, for even more Super Tuesday coverage. We have information on the polling places, the candidates, and a whole lot more. There's even a Super Tuesday cheat sheet with all you need to know before you head out to the polls today.
507, continuing our coverage of the novel coronavirus crisis. There are now more than 100 infections in the United States, with California and Washington the most affected. 6 patients have died in Washington state, all in the Seattle area. Around the world, the head of the World Health Organization says public health officials are operating in, quote, uncharted territory, trying to fight the spread of the virus. More than 90,000 people are sick because of it. No cases in Houston. Coming up in our next half hour, our health reporter Haley Hernandez takes a look at how Harris County leaders are working to control rumors about the virus in our area.
Time right now is 5:08 this morning. The University of Houston is now attracting freshmen with a huge promise, and that's free tuition. This is an expansion of the university's Cougar Promise program. Starting this fall, U of H will cover tuition and fees for freshmen from families making less than $65,000. The university says it's committed to making college accessible for students from low and middle income families.
Just wasn't a good night for the Rockets taking on the Knicks last night.
No, it wasn't. Still ahead at 5. Who Russell Westbrook says is to blame for the Rockets' first loss at Madison Square Garden in more than 10 years.
Good morning. Your time is 5:10. That's a live look at the seawall right now. So very thick fog at the coast. Your visibility in Galveston is down to a half mile, and we have a dense fog advisory just along the coast until 10 o'clock this morning. So give yourself that extra time out the door. Away from the coast where we do not have a dense fog advisory, our visibility is dropping in a few locations. Looking pretty good right now on the Southwest Freeway, as you can see on that camera shot, but we're down to 3/4 of a mile visibility in Katy. So take that extra caution if you're coming in from Waller County, especially along the Grand Parkway and the Katy Freeway. We'll take a look at what we're expecting for this afternoon coming up next, because Tanaya, we have rain in the forecast. Over to you.
All right, thank you, Britta. Well, the Rockets' 6-game winning streak's now over after a really tough loss to the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. It was Knicks early on. The normally struggling team built a 21-point lead and held the Rockets off for most of that game. There were some highlights, though. Robert Covington scored 20 points, and Russell Westbrook and James Harden combined for 59. But that just wasn't enough. Rockets lost that one 125-123. Still, Westbrook says he's going to take the blame for that loss.
We're supposed to come out and take care of business, to be completely honest. And that starts with myself, just making sure having the guys ready. So this one on me.
Now, this is their first loss at Madison Square Garden since January of 2009. The team is going to host the Clippers on Thursday at Toyota Center. The Supreme Court has ruled on the controversial bump stock ban.
Coming up, what the highest court in the land is deciding about that gun modification that allows shooters to continuously fire rounds.
And next, if you felt Apple was slowing down your older model iPhone, the tech giant might owe you some money. How much you could be entitled to in a class action lawsuit. Next.
Here.
Good morning. Coming up on 5:15 on the Tuesday Live Look Outside. Britta will have your full forecast, including details of fog and some rain in just a few moments. Well, massive smoke and ash shot over 20 feet in the air after Indonesia's most active volcano erupted yesterday. You can see it here. This eruption could be heard about 18 miles away. Now, villagers living near Mount Merapi are told to stay 2 miles from the mountain. The volcano's ongoing activity has put it at the 3rd highest alert status level. Its last major eruption killed more than 300 people back in 2010.
This morning, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is claiming victory in the Israeli election. Exit polls show he is 2 seats short of a majority in the Israeli parliament. The embattled leader's re-election has been complicated. He was indicted on charges of bribery, breach of trust, and fraud. The results will be trickling in throughout the day. Back at home, the Supreme Court of the United States says it will not touch a federal bump stock ban. Bump stocks allow a shooter to fire continuously with a single pull of the trigger. The court declined an appeal to challenge the ban on the rifle attachment. The ban went into effect a year ago. Owners, dealers, and manufacturers were required, that is, to destroy the bump stocks or turn them in.
Apple is now going to pay to settle accusations that it deliberately slows down the older iPhone models when it's releasing the new ones. The company is going to pay up to $500 million to settle that lawsuit. That breaks down to about $25 per phone to be paid to those eligible customers. The settlement covers models from the 6 to the 7 Plus on those specific operating systems. Well, it's an Olympic dream come true for a Boston Marathon runner. That's right. Competing in her first ever marathon run, she earned a spot on the Olympic team. 25-year-old Molly Seidel started running back in middle school and took it all the way to college. In 2016, she was sidelined by several injuries as well as anxiety and a serious eating disorder. But she laid it all on the track and secured her ticket to Tokyo over the weekend.
Going in, I was like, I want to go out, try and run well for my first marathon. To be able to say, like, yes, I'm an American athlete. That's the highest honor I think an athlete can have.
It's pretty amazing for her. She says she is looking forward to the road ahead. Coming up later on the Today Show, you can hear more about her journey. Well, it's rodeo time in Houston, and in just a few hours, the gates will officially open. That's right. Tens of thousands were expected to visit the rodeo each and every day, and our Amy Davis is there first this morning. She was through the gates before anybody else. And, well, wait, where is Amy, actually? Hang on a minute.
Oh, there she is. Hello, here I am. Hey, good morning. Just outside the Social Spur. This is a brand new tent. It's a huge tent here just inside the rodeo grounds whenever you get in. And sort of the whole idea for this is it's a place to come in, relax, unwind. If your feet are hurting, if your cell phone needs a recharge, if your battery's getting low, they've got all these charging stations. You can refill your water bottle in here. There's places where you can just take some selfie spots over here, some cool little booths made by a local artist. So they've got all this, and then back here on this huge entertainment wall, you can take selfies with your favorite performer who's going to be out here at Houston Rodeo, which leads us to tonight. This is how it's all going to go down. We know the gates open at 8 a.m., but then at 6:45, the actual rodeo starts. At 8:45, Midland takes the stage, the very first performers of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo this year. And then you might already be thinking about, how the heck am I going to get out there this year? You can do the same things you've done in years past, but if you plan on taking Uber or Lyft, those ride-sharing programs have become so popular out here at the rodeo that they have made some changes to the pickup drop-off location for Uber and Lyft.
This year, the main reason for moving it out off of Main Street was we've got a larger artery out there. Main Street can queue up more vehicles, and we portioned out a specific section of the lot that we can run the meetup location for both.
All right, so if you don't want to do Uber and Lyft, you've still got the Metro Park and Ride locations. There are plenty of those. You can find them on Rodeo Houston. You can find that information on Click to Houston. There's Metro Rail, Metro Bus, Rodeo Express buses, and the price for that Rodeo Express bus just varies depending on where you're taking it from. Woodlands Express also has a bus again this year, shuttling people back and forth all the way out to the Woodlands. If you plan on coming out here and just parking on one of the lots and walking up to NRG, up to Rodeo Houston, bring $20 to park. That's how much it'll cost you. So a lot of times you can get here for less and get a lot closer because your drop-off point is a lot closer than those outer lying parking lots. Owen, Tanaya, back to you.
Got some options, Amy.
Indeed. Either way, we're going. One way or another, we're going to find our way there. By car or by horse, Amy. We'll see you very soon.
Thank you, Amy. And speaking of cars, there's some fog out there this morning.
There is some fog out there this morning. You got to be ready for that. Does she not look adorable, by the way? I love it. I think she looks great.
I like the feather.
I do, too. It looks good. It's kind of a cool little twist on that. Yeah, so we got fog out there this morning. We've got our first accident on southbound Gulf Freeway just as you get towards Emancipation. There's a lot of construction right around there, too, so it doesn't shock me. I've seen folks get all smashed up around there. So that said, as you mentioned, the fog's going to be the real issue out there this morning, so watch out for that. I'll have an update on that coming up.
Yeah, and a good idea to grab your umbrella. We do have rain chances in the forecast, and you want to make sure that you're on top of that, especially if you will be waiting in line to vote today. Meanwhile, this morning, we're not tracking rain, but we are tracking the fog, as Justin said. So let's take a live look outside, thanks to our Kaplan Sinus Relief camera. Keep in mind, this is an elevated camera, so you're kind of up in the cloud deck. Temperatures are in the 70s. It is a very warm and muggy start to the day. It's going to be a really warm afternoon as well. We'll be topping off pretty close to 80 degrees this afternoon. Right now, we're at 70 at Bush Airport, in the 60s in Katy, 71 degrees at Hobby Airport, temperatures at the coast in the mid to upper 60s. That's where the fog is very thick. We're down to 3/4 of a mile in Galveston. We do have a dense fog advisory for the Barrier Islands until 10 o'clock in the morning. No advisory away from the coast, but you can see a few thick spots, especially moving in from the west. So if you live off to the west of Harris County, you need to allow for that extra drive time because your visibility is dropping below a mile in many locations. This afternoon will be up to 80 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, a 30% chance of a stray shower. Tomorrow is still the day to watch. Take a look at that huge spin moving over Baja. That is a massive upper level low. It's going to move directly over southeast Texas, and that's going to produce that threat of strong thunderstorms for tomorrow. Let's take it hour by hour, getting the kids out the door this morning. Not a lot of rain out there. You might see some light mist, but it's really about the fog. Make sure you take extra caution in the school zones this morning with the fog. As we go to the afternoon, a few breaks of sunshine, but mostly cloudy skies. Just take a look at those isolated showers across town. They shouldn't be overly heavy, but they'll be out there, so grab your umbrella, and temperatures will be close to 80 degrees. Meanwhile, for tomorrow, the morning commute doesn't look all that bad. We will probably see a few showers, temperatures in the upper 60s, but the rain chances go up as we get closer to lunchtime. By lunchtime, we have widely scattered thunderstorms across the area. Some of our thunderstorms could produce hail and gusty winds and really heavy downpours. You need to check your weather conditions before you head out, especially in the afternoon. They're going to be widely scattered, so it's not going to rain all day long, but we'll have thunderstorms rolling through. As we get closer to 8 p.m., we'll start to dry things out, and Wednesday night does look pretty good. This is the wide image of what's going on, that huge area of low pressure moving on through. Behind it on Thursday and Friday, we clear out the skies, tap into that nice north breeze, and we'll see sunshine and cooler temperatures. Just beautiful weather moving in for the end of the work week into our first weekend of rodeo, and also our first weekend of spring break for a lot of kids out there. Just don't forget to spring forward. That does happen 2 a.m. on Sunday.
Oh, I can't wait. That's my favorite. I like the sunshine. I like the daylight for sure. Hey, we were talking a second ago, Britta, about how foggy it is down in Galveston. This is a live look going in from the Gulf Freeway to Tiki Island. So if you're going over the causeway, that's what you're going to run into. So just give yourself a little bit of extra time. Not only that, but as you go a little further up into the Gulf Freeway towards West Dallas, we're looking good. Right over, there's the GRB. So moving in towards the I-10-59 exchange where it goes northbound. Southbound, though, right towards Emancipation. That's where we've got our first accident. I'll tell you more about that here in just a sec. Head on the north side. This is what it looks like up at Rankin as you're working your way southbound in towards the North Loop. So far, so good. This is starting to stack up, not only from here, but as you go back north in towards downtown. Watch out for that as well. That's kind of our only real trouble spot aside from what we're seeing in terms of the fog out there, as Bruce mentioned a second ago. Everybody else still looking A-okay, but just watch out if you're downtown. 10 minutes in from Pearland, 25 in from the Woodlands, and all my folks on the east side from Baytown right now heading in around 16 minutes.
Today is Super Tuesday, where more than a dozen states will vote in the presidential primary. Tracy Potts has more on the two candidates who just dropped out of the race and are now throwing their support to Joe Biden.
And good morning, everyone. I'm health reporter Haley Hernandez. Have you been hearing a lot about coronavirus and don't know whether it's real? I'll tell you about the local website that can prove the rumors you're hearing are true or false. Coming up.
Call or visit a store today.
527 here at Channel 2. It is Super Tuesday. 14 states vote for president today. But some candidates on the ballot have dropped out. Tracy Potts is live from Washington with where they're throwing their support.
Owen, good morning. Based on the numbers that we're seeing, Bernie Sanders is the one to beat today, but Joe Biden has new momentum. Senator Bernie Sanders heads into Super Tuesday, topping national polls and the delegate count. But former Vice President Joe Biden is gaining support.
Vote for Joe. Vote for decency. Vote for dignity. Vote for a heart for our country.
Senator Amy Klobuchar and former Mayor Pete Buttigieg both dropped out and endorsed Biden.
The whole idea was about rallying the country together to defeat Donald Trump.
President Trump weighing in at a pre-Super Tuesday rally.
Quid pro quo. They made a deal. Impeach them.
Former candidate Beto O'Rourke also now backing Biden.
At a time that this country is so polarized, so deeply divided, we need somebody who can bring us together.
Let's take back this country.
2/3 of the delegates needed to win the nomination are at stake today in 14 states, including two big ones, California and Texas.
To all of Amy and Pete's millions of supporters, the door is open. Come on in.
Today's the first time we'll see former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg on a ballot, testing whether the billionaire's advertising is resonating with voters.
I'm in it to win it.
Senator Elizabeth Warren and others still fighting for a chance to stay in this race. With millions of people voting today, security is a concern. The acting Homeland Security Secretary plans to stop by the government's Cybersecurity Election Watch Center this afternoon. In Washington, Tracy Potts, KPRC Channel 2 News.
Well, as we've been talking about, yes, the pool of candidates on the Democratic side is much smaller now. If your candidate dropped out, what about you early voters? Can you go back and vote for a different one? We'll have that answer coming up.
And this morning we are tracking fog on top of that, shower chances for Election Day. We'll take a look at your weather forecast coming up.
.org.
Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Today.
Good morning. We've got some breaking news this morning. This is all that is left after a wild chase throughout southeast Houston. Investigators say the person behind the wheel was 17. The other people in that car even younger, 16 and possibly as young as 9 years old. We'll have the very latest on this chase coming up.
Deadly tornado rips through Nashville as thousands of people were sleeping. We're going to hear from survivors of the storm as we get our first look at the damage this morning.
And people across the country getting ready to head out to the polls this morning on this Super Tuesday. What you need to know if you're going out to cast your ballot today.
Hey, we have made our way to the carnival at Rodeo Houston, and this is the newest attraction. It's a fun house. Anybody thinking, you're the one that I want? We're going to show you all the new things here to do at the carnival and when you can get your carnival tickets if you want to get those discount carnival books. All of that's coming up in just a few minutes.
Good. I'm tired of the same old fun house. That's going to be awesome.
Seriously, we do want those discounts, Amy. Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us. 5:32 now on a Tuesday morning. I'm Tanaya Wright.
And I'm Owen Conflenti. Stapleton's in on traffic.
Howdy, bro. How you doing?
Good. How's it going out there?
Good.
It's okay so far. We've got one crash on the southbound lane of 45 near Emancipation. It's backing things up as well. Other than that, that's the only trouble spot we got. But as you've been saying this morning, the fog's an issue. We've been kind of tracking that from the Weather Center here.
Yeah, and we gave you a heads up yesterday that we were expecting fog this morning. So I hope you're prepared. If not, we're going to get you through it. On top of that, we're tracking some rain chances. So grab your umbrella before you leave your front door. This is a live look outside. Our Kaplan Sinus Relief camera. Now, keep in mind, this is an elevated camera. So you're up in the cloud deck, but we are tracking some fog that's right at the surface. The biggest impact is really directly at the coast. We're down to 3/4 of a mile visibility in Galveston. We do have a dense fog advisory for the barrier islands until 10 o'clock this morning. No advisory away from the coast, but we have a few spots that are fairly thick, especially in our west counties. Columbus, you're down below 2 miles. It gets up to about 3 miles in Katy. Just take that extra caution if you're coming in along the Katy Freeway. Also 290, Brenham, you're down below a mile. We could see a few of these spots getting fairly thick around sunrise, so between 6:30 and 7 o'clock in the morning. Meanwhile, if you're heading out to vote today, here's a full look at your forecast. In the afternoon, we'll have a few spotty showers. It's going to be warm out there at 80 degrees. Meanwhile, tomorrow, Justin, we're focusing on the threat of severe weather. So here's a look. We have a marginal risk of severe weather. I'll take you through the timeline coming up. Over to you.
Yeah, sounds good. I think we're going to be watching for probably some messy conditions, certainly by tomorrow afternoon, as you just talked about with the timing, that little bowling ball that's coming at us from the west coast. Here's what it looks like. This is the kind of the backside of that accident over towards Emancipation. This is the Gulf Freeway going southbound at San Jacinto, so right around downtown. You can see people getting checked up there. Generally, we'll check up there anyway, but this is also why. That accident is just as you get south from where 59 interchange, and notice it goes all the way back towards Cleveland and Main Street. So just watch out for that. That's kind of the only big accident we've got on the board. A couple of stalls out there, but the fog's the bigger issue, as Britt mentioned. You can see right around Friendswood as you get towards there and Hobby Airport, and then especially out west, Katy, Fulshire down to Wallace. That's where we're seeing a lot of the heavy fog as well. It's down to about a half mile, quarter visibility. Same thing at Galveston, the causeway going down towards Tiki Island. I'll show you another one of those cameras here coming up in just a bit. Don't forget today, if you're going out to vote in the primaries, free rides today to and from the polling stations. RideMetro.org if you want to find out what your route is in your latest, around your area, I should say. And the good news is that your inbound times still all clean and green. 22 minutes in from Katy, 25 from the Woodlands, 12 from LaPorte, and 21 in from Kingwood. And don't forget, you can get all your traffic needs. If you want to find more information about it, just go to clicktohouston.com/traffic. Guys, over to you.
All right, Stapleton, thank you. At 5:34, breaking news from Southeast Houston. Investigators say 3 kids, a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a third, possibly as young as 9, are all hurt after leading police on a chase.
Now we're told they used a stolen vehicle during that chase and crashed into 2 innocent people. This all happened last night on Scott and Tristan, and that is where we find our own Sophia Ojeda this morning with the very latest on this investigation. Sophia.
Good morning. We just spoke with one of the victim's friends. She says that everyone is worried about her this morning, hoping that she will be okay. Take a look behind me. This is the scene left here on Scott Street. If you can zoom in here, I'm going to show you the silver car. This is the car of that friend that's upside down there on Scott Street. The stolen vehicle is this white vehicle. HPD says that a 17-year-old was driving this car northbound with a 16-year-old passenger and a child under 12 in the back seat. The victim's car was coming out from a side street. That's when the stolen car slammed into her and another man inside. Investigators say the stolen vehicle going more than 100 miles per hour. Investigators say it hit the victim's car so bad it sent the engine flying hundreds of feet away. Investigators say both victims are now in critical condition. This morning, the victim's friend tells us they are hoping she will be okay.
I was going to the store right there, and somebody told me, did I hear about Sharon? And I'm like, no. And they just told me right now, and I came right over here to see. But the officer told me that everybody's gone. Everybody knows it. Everybody around here knows Sharon. And she comes through sometime, kick it with everybody, because she works and everything. And she just happened to probably be around at the wrong time.
Yeah, investigators say the 3 people here in this white stolen vehicle, they were not wearing seatbelts. All 3, the 17-year-old, the 16-year-old, and the child under 12, they were rushed to the hospital. The 2 other victims in that other vehicle, that silver vehicle, are in critical condition this morning. That driver facing several charges, including aggravated assault, evading police, and endangering the welfare of a child. He is now facing 100 years behind bars. Reporting live in Southeast Houston, Sophia Ojeda, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Okay, Sophia, 5:37 now. Breaking news out of Tennessee. 2 people are dead after a frightening tornado ripped through parts of Nashville in the middle of the night. The National Weather Service reporting the twister was on the ground for 10 miles. There are reports of about 40 building collapses around the city. Folks, of course, waking up as the storm hit.
Just woke you out of your sleep, and then it just came through, and that was it. I mean, when you're inside, it was one thing, but to walk out here now and see everything, it's bad.
The Red Cross has been helping folks who have been displaced from their homes. This all comes within just hours of voters hitting the polls for Super Tuesday in that state as well. Officials with the Nashville Election Commission are checking to see if any of the polling sites have been damaged. Indecision 2020, Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg have formally endorsed their former rival, Joe Biden, now for president.
Klobuchar ended her campaign at Biden's rally in Dallas yesterday, and that's where she announced her support for him. Buttigieg's endorsement, which was also in Dallas, came just one day after he ended his own campaign.
We need a politics that's about decency, a politics that brings back dignity. And that is what we sought to practice in my campaign. That's what Joe Biden has been practicing his entire life.
And President Trump held a Keep America Great rally last night in Charlotte. There he commented on Biden's endorsements and says he does not think Biden would be the one in charge if he gets elected. President Trump has held rallies shortly before each of the first primary contest dates so far this year.
So with those candidates dropping out so close to Super Tuesday, there's been this question with Amy Klobuchar, Pete Buttigieg, and Tom Steyer about them being still on the ballot. Early voters who've already cast their ballots for them have asked, well, what happens to my vote now? Could you go back and change it, vote for a new candidate today? The simple answer is no. If you did vote for a candidate who has since bowed out, you can't go back and vote again. But your votes won't go completely to waste. If a candidate who dropped out receives any delegates, they can give them to another candidate still in the running.
And questions like those are exactly what we're going to be answering all day today. We're once again teaming up with the League of Women Voters Houston for an election phone bank. Volunteers are setting up right now so they can start answering your questions. That phone bank starts at 6 a.m. and is going to end when the polls close tonight at 7. We're going to give out that phone number to you starting in our 6 a.m. hour. People will be able to answer calls both in English and Spanish.
New this morning, a dog is dead and a firefighter is being treated after a house fire in Spring. It happened on Oak Masters Drive near Majestic Forest Drive. Upon arrival, the Klein Fire Department firefighters said the roof had already collapsed. The fire started in the garage. The homeowners are safe, but the home is not. And those people are being advised to try to stay with family members. 20 minutes to 6 now. To the coronavirus crisis, there are no confirmed cases here in Houston, but that's not stopping widespread rumors that are circulating out on social media.
No, it's not, but we do want to bring in health reporter Haley Hernandez now, who's going to break down how local leaders are working to control these rumors and make sure everyone knows the facts.
Right, because it's so typical that people would start rumors during a time like this, right? But ReadyHarris.org is a website that is now a rumor control page about coronavirus disease 19. The site has most of the rumors that you've heard and the facts surrounding them. Right now, it has 8 rumors and counting, including this one that people in Houston tested positive and are currently in secret isolation. That is totally false.
There are still no cases of coronavirus in Harris County or in Houston. Because of the fear that is understandable, there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Yeah, and so that fear has a lot of people worried about heading out this week, especially to things like the rodeo, where there's going to be lots of crowds. The Houston Livestock Show and rodeo organizers say they are taking precautions against the potential spread of the virus. Organizers say they have added extra hand washing and sanitizing stations. They expect millions of people to visit the rodeo this year, so they do encourage you to bring your own wipes and sanitizers too. And if you're sick or just don't feel well, organizers ask that you stay home. Tanaya?
Thank you, Haley. Well, the woman accused of making the fake 911 call in the Harding Street raid is due back in court for a hearing today. Last week, a judge ordered Patricia Ann Garcia to remain in federal custody after she was arrested for violating her bond. Garcia was a neighbor of Dennis Tuttle and Regina Nicholas. She's accused of lying on a 911 call to police, which investigators claim triggered that botched raid last January. Tuttle and Nicholas were both killed in that raid.
5:42 right now here at Channel 2. Let's get you out the door. Britta, what do we have in store today?
Well, we're tracking some fog. One spot not looking too bad is close to town on the Southwest Freeway. This is Beech Nut and Beltway 8. Not looking too bad, or around Beltway 8 and 59. We do have very low visibility, though, coming in from Katy. So take that extra caution along the Katy Freeway and also the Grand Parkway. Your visibility in Katy down below a mile, and it's very soupy along the coast. Meanwhile, it's time to rodeo. This is your forecast for tonight. We're expecting a few showers in your afternoon forecast. Those could lead into the evening forecast, so have your umbrella with you. But we'll dry out through the evening itself. It's going to be warm, temperatures in the 70s, and of course our headliner is Midland. We'll take a look at what we're expecting for the first full weekend of rodeo coming up. Over to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Looks pretty good so far. It's going to be a great show tonight out there, certainly tomorrow as well. Let me give you an update on what's happening out there. We've got an 18-wheeler that got jackknifes kind of sideways. So the two center lanes just south of Scott Street is got things backed up on the Gulf Freeway. This is southbound, by the way. It's San Jacinto. That's where you're seeing those slows that go all the way back towards Main Street. So definitely be careful about that. That, along with a couple of other spots. Here's what it looks like on the causeway going northbound from the island. The dense fog, as Britt has been mentioning, has been pretty thick out there. That's going to be the case for a good chunk of the morning, especially down to the island. And we've got a stall over at the Katy Freeway at Beltway. For the most part, though, guys, should be an A-OK morning. Aside from that little blurb downtown, that's about it. Otherwise, our drive times are all still in the green between about 10 to 25 minutes.
That is what we'd like to see, Justin. Well, this morning there are some new developments in the case of the helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant.
And this morning, while the L.A. County Sheriff is saying that he feels betrayed after what one of the deputies did after the crash. We're back at 5:45. New developments in the helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant and 8 others. 8 L.A. County deputies are facing administrative action after they're accused of sharing graphic photos from the crash site. Vanessa Bryant is devastated after she learned of the accusations. A deputy trainee is accused of showing other people the pictures at a bar.
To be betrayed by one of our own is disheartening, really. We're redoing the entire policies and we're creating new ones that are very specific, including a penalty of discharge for a violation of these policies.
The offending images have apparently been deleted from the deputies' phones, and so far the pictures have not turned up on the internet. Vanessa Bryant's attorney wants those responsible to face the harshest possible discipline.
She's a daytime TV icon, and now Judge Judy says her show is coming to an end.
Coming up, what the famous TV judge will do with her free time when the show is over.
I'm Amy Davis, live at Rodeo Houston in the Carnival, checking out the Fun House. This is all new this year. The Carnival opens at 4, and it's all fun and games until the reporter falls on her butt. I said that. We'll be back. Press stop.
So in addition to the concerts and the livestock show, people head to the rodeo to play some games and get on the rides.
Oh, yeah, I love taking my kids out to the carnival. It opens later today. There's a new attraction this year, and Amy Davis is living it up. She's got a sneak peek at the Fun House, the New York Fun House. What's up, Amy?
Yeah, guys, good morning. This is a whole lot of fun, so we can't walk all the way through, but we did find out how to press a few buttons and get that little hamster barrel wheel thing going. Okay, so this is the New York Fun House. The carnival opens today at 4 o'clock, but coming up on Thursday here, they have the first ever Rodeo Houston Sensory Friendly Day. So if you or anyone in your family, your children, get overwhelmed by a lot of sights and sounds and flashing lights, that is the day this year that Rodeo Houston wants families to come out. The carnival normally opens at 4, but on Thursday it opens from 10 until 1 p.m. for this special sensory friendly day. Here's what it's all about.
So the carnival is actually being opened earlier hours to accommodate our sensory friendly day. It's from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. on Thursday, the 5th of March. And it's that time frame specifically that these families come out and know that the lights are down, the music's down, and that the people who are enjoying the carnival that day are also here for the sensory friendly event. The carnival will continue to open after that for everyone to come out and enjoy.
All right, so Carnival, one of the big attractions here at the rodeo. So if you missed your chance to get half-price Rodeo Carnival tickets, that ended on the 29th. But of course, you can still buy Carnival tickets when you come out. This year, they're all digital, so no worries about losing your paper tickets somewhere. You can keep everything stored handy right there on your phone. And so Carnival opens today at 4 p.m. The rodeo and everything closes tonight. Performance by Midland, but a lot of the things close at midnight tonight, so it runs pretty late.
Wow, see, they make it so easy. Everything right on your phone, Amy.
And I want a funnel cake. All right, Amy, we'll see you soon. Britt is here at 5:51 this morning.
I was going to say, I'll take some fried Oreos if you're out there. Let's take you live to Galveston. Really soupy this morning. So this is a live look. Visibility down to about 3/4 of a mile. Actually drops even farther if you get closer and closer to the direct coastline. We have a dense fog advisory in effect for our barrier islands until 10 o'clock in the morning. Away from the coast, no dense fog advisory just yet, but look at the visibility for our west counties. We're down to a half mile in Brenham, a mile and a half or a mile and a quarter right now in Columbus, so take that extra caution. It's very thick in Matagorda County. Bay City, you're down to 3/4 of a mile. It drops down below that as you move into Palacios. Fog will be out of here around 10 o'clock in the morning, then look for mostly cloudy skies. It's getting warm and muggy. If you're voting today, especially in the afternoon, have that umbrella with you. We have a 30% chance of widely scattered showers. Tomorrow is still the big weather day, though. Take a look at this huge spin moving over Baja. That's going to dig into North Mexico and then push into West Texas, and that's our source for severe weather for tomorrow. Today, no severe weather, but we'll see a few showers. Dropping the kids off at school, you might see some light mist, but it's really all about the fog. Watch out in the school zones this morning. Keep everyone safe. As we get closer to 3 p.m., that's when we're tracking a few showers and also a few breaks of sunshine. It's going to be a warm one today, getting into 80, 82 degrees, depending on how much sunshine you actually see. As you head into the evening forecast, still running that chance of an isolated shower. But as I said, it's about tomorrow. The morning commute, nothing severe, but as we get closer to lunchtime, we're tracking those widely scattered downpours. A few of our thunderstorms could produce severe weather. If that happens, it's about a 5% chance. It would be for hail and gusty winds. Meanwhile, behind the system on Wednesday, we really clear out quite nicely. We're going to have nice clear skies, beautiful sunshine, and cooler temperatures for Thursday and Friday. Here's a full look at that 10-day forecast. We're dropping down to, the upper 60s for Thursday, 70 degrees on Friday. And Justin, as we head into the first weekend of rodeo, really does look lovely. Just don't forget to spring forward.
As I like to call it, looks like it's going to be schmossum there as well. So pretty good forecast. Thank you very much, Britta. Appreciate that. Okay, so let's get you an update on this. It does look like that accident, that heavy truck that was jackknifed, has been cleared. I don't have verification from TxDOT just yet that it has been, but it does look like that we're starting to check up as you get just north of there, but just south, things are starting to move a little quicker. And in fact, let's take a live look outside, show you what it looks like. There's at San Jacinto, and notice everybody's starting to move a little quicker. That's certainly good news. We'll jump back, though, as you go from there towards West Dallas, and that's where we're still seeing things kind of get checked up. That's the Houston Racket Club as you're working your way over towards where 45 kind of splits and works its way towards 59 as well. That's what it looks like there. Let's head out to the west side as we go out to Katy Freeway at Fry Road. Looking A-okay so far. No problems expected out on the freeway, but the fog, as Britta mentioned, is the biggest issue there. Pretty green across much of the area, including over towards the east side as you get in towards Baytown. Seeing a couple of slows getting in towards 99 and out to 146. As you go southbound 146 and 225, A-okay in Deer Park and Lomax. If you're out in those areas, we're looking good, but still, as we said, the fog, that's going to be the big issue so far. So just give yourself a little bit of extra time if you're out on the west side. Right now, 28 minutes in from the Woodlands, 16 in from Cypress, and Owen and Tenaya, we've got 25 coming in from Kingwood. Not too bad.
All right, buddy, sounds good. 5:54. The upcoming 25th season of Judge Judy will be the last. Judge Judy made the announcement in an interview with Ellen yesterday. According to JudgeJudy.com, in the 2018-2019 season, her show averaged 10 million viewers a day, and she was the highest paid TV host in the country. If you're a big fan, don't worry. She says she's not retiring. She teased at a new show in the works called Judy Justice.
Sure, that will be just as popular. Well, the polls for the Texas primary open in just over an hour, and in just a few minutes, our phone lines are going to open for our phone bank, where we're answering all your questions about Super Tuesday. We'll have all the details coming up in our 6 o'clock hour. Stay with us. Check this out. Cinnabon's new Churro Chelada is the latest Instagram-worthy frozen drink. Oh, it looks pretty fancy. It combines their signature blended chelada in a creamy sweet cinnamon flavor with whipped cream, caramel drizzle, and a churro stick. It is now available at stores nationwide, but if you do want to try one, you're going to have to hurry. It's only available for a limited time.
Taco Bell's 7-layer burrito is 6 feet under at Penn State. Students held a vigil after receiving the tragic news of the school's lone Taco Bell closing up shop. The vigil organizer, who was seen on stage in a taco suit, says it started off as a joke on Facebook, but then they started taking it seriously, and it went viral. And students gathered to mourn and draw support from one another and reminisce about their favorite burritos.
Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Today.
Well, here we are. It's Super Tuesday. Decision 2020 As voters head to the polls in 14 states, including Texas, what you need to know as you head out.
Plus, developing overnight in Nashville as voters head to the polls there today. They're also going to be picking up the pieces. This after a deadly tornado struck while people were sleeping. We've got video of the damage and stories of survivors coming into our newsroom.
Channel 2 weather, a warm start to Super Tuesday. Might have a tough time seeing where you're going, too, because we do have some dense fog this morning. Britta will tell you about that.
Live at Rodeo Houston. I'm Amy Davis. We are about to go inside to one of my very favorite parts of Rodeo Houston, and that is the petting zoo. When you see me next, I'm going to be hopefully, holding some very cute baby pigs.
Yeah, if you can catch them.
Sheep. We'll see in a minute.
Yeah, you can catch them running around.
6 o'clock on March 3rd, Super Tuesday. I'm Owen Conflenti.
Good morning. I'm Tanaya Wright. Justin is in with a check on traffic, but our election phone bank just opening. Our volunteers already out there ready to answer your questions before you head out to vote. The polls open at 7.
So there's the number on the screen, 713-778-8920 or 8930 in Espanol. So again, the traffic and weather as folks go to vote. Britta, how are we doing? We got the dense fog. What's the story there?
You know, you just need to make sure that you're taking it slow this morning. There's a few spots that are faring just fine, but also a few spots where it's very soupy. In addition to that, we have rain in the forecast. It's going to be a larger issue if you are going to be voting after you pick up your school kids and then heading closer to the evening commute. Let's take you outside and show you these soupy conditions. This is our camera that's showing you typically downtown. Now keep in mind this is an elevated camera, so you're kind of up in the cloud deck. Visibility in the heart of Harris County is just fine. We're having no issues in downtown. It's the outlying areas. You're down to a half mile in Galveston. We're also at a half mile in Brenham. It's definitely a larger deal for our west counties. So if you're coming in along the Katy Freeway and also southern portions of the Southwest Freeway, just give yourself that extra time. At the direct coastline, we do have a dense fog advisory until 10 o'clock this morning. Here's a look at your full forecast if you are trying to plan out your day. 80 degrees this afternoon, Justin. It's going to be a warm one with a few showers. Our storm chances going up big time for tomorrow. We're still talking about the threat of severe weather. I'll give you details coming up.
All right, thank you very much, Britta. Good news, that crash that was over at Scott Street on 45 southbound just cleared a few minutes ago. So we will finally start to see things move a little smoother as you're getting in towards the downtown, trying to get out of the downtown area. Here's the look at from 290 at Tidwell. Everybody going inbound A-OK so far. A little bit of patchy fog out that way. It's a little thicker as you get out west, as Britta mentioned, from basically Katy up towards Hempstead, slicing down to Rosenberg. If you're out that way, watch out. Give yourself a little bit of extra, especially Liberty County. If you're coming in from the East Tex there and Highway 90, it's really starting to get a little dicey. So notice that we are all green. That's certainly good news. That is cleared. We're getting a little bit of a slowdown as you work your way southbound, working down 59 over towards the GRB. But so far, our drive times look pretty good, guys. 24 minutes in from Katy, 28 from the Woodlands, and right now 24 coming in from Clear Lake.
Turning now to Decision 2020. We've made it to Super Tuesday, but now you've got to make it to the polls.
Yes, there's a few things you need to know before you head out. For Harris County voters, you do have options. You can vote at your local precinct or anywhere else in Harris County. Remember, you do need a photo ID to vote in Texas elections. Voters over the age of 65, those who are sick, disabled, or out of town can also mail in ballots today.
Channel 2's Vincent Crivelli joins us now live this morning. And Vincent, the field narrowed once again yesterday in the race for the White House and even led to some big endorsements.
Good morning. That's right. Former Vice President Joe Biden's campaign is now surging with momentum because of the new endorsements. However, Bernie Sanders is still leading in the polls.
As I stand here today because of the minority communities.
Former Vice President Joe Biden was in Houston on Monday to rally support from black voters.
I think we're going to do well here in Texas with the help of all of you. And, you know, when we do, we'll be on our way to defeating Donald Trump.
Then in Dallas, Biden got a major boost in momentum. Two former rivals, Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar, dropped out of the race and threw their support behind the former vice president.
You have my back, and I promise I'll have yours.
So how can you get to the polls today? Well, Metro is offering free rides on their buses and light rails to get to your polling place. To find your proper polling place, head to harrisvotes.com and put in your address. And when you go to vote, you will need one of 7 forms of approved identification. They include a passport, driver's license, citizen certificate, and handgun license issued by DPS. And your job has to give you paid time off to go vote unless the polls are open 2 hours before or after your regular work shift. Reporting live in Sunnyside, Vincent Crivelli, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Vincent, thank you. In Dallas, Beto O'Rourke posted a Facebook Live of himself and Joe Biden chowing down at a Whataburger. The two were spotted after Beto announced his endorsement of Joe Biden. The two were greeted with cheers as they entered that Whataburger. You can watch the full video at our website at click2houston.com.
Time right now is coming up on 6:05 this morning. We are still tracking that breaking news in Southeast Houston, where 5 people, including juveniles, were rushed to the hospital after a chase ends in a violent crash. Police say this all started at about 1 a.m. after a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a child under the age of 12, possibly as young as 9, led that chase in a stolen vehicle. The 17-year-old driver was going at least 100 miles per hour when investigators say he crashed into a silver vehicle that was pulling out of a neighborhood on Scott and Tristan. 2 people in that car hit, along with those 3 juveniles, were taken to an area hospital. That 17-year-old driver now facing several charges and up to 100 years in prison. Channel 2 Sophia Ojeda gathering the latest details on their conditions and what we're hearing about one of the victims. We'll hear from her coming up at 6:30.
Breaking developments from Nashville. At least 6 people are dead after a dangerous tornado ripped through the city in the middle of the night. The National Weather Service says the twister was on the ground for 10 miles. About 40 structures collapsed. Nearly 50,000 people are without power. Many families were woken out of their sleep by that tornado.
We woke up and we heard it going, and it was right by our window. We just went to the bathtub. That's pretty much it. But I would be evacuated for a gas leak. It's surreal. I feel like I'm in a movie. It's just so sad.
Red Cross is helping folks who've been displaced from their homes. This just comes within hours of voters hitting the polls there for Super Tuesday. The Nashville Election Commission's checking to see if any polling sites were damaged. This morning, coronavirus concerns have reached the NBA. The league has advised players to avoid high-fiving each other and the fans. They're also being advised to avoid touching things like shirts or hats or other things the fans want signed. This is one of the latest developments as organizations like the NBA race to figure out how to handle the spread of the novel coronavirus from China.
Plus, some more breaking news involving that virus outbreak. Iran's supreme leader is mobilizing the country's military to help try and combat the outbreak. As many as 300,000 soldiers and volunteers could be part of this move. The decision reportedly comes after a close friend of the supreme leader's died due to that virus. 77 people have died there and more than 2,300 are infected. Well, Decision 2020 heats up today as voters head to the polls to cast their ballot.
Yeah, our 2020 Decision 2020 phone bank. Let me start that over. The KPRC Decision 2020 phone bank is happening right now, and we've got folks on hand to help you out. 713-778-8920, and they'll be here till 7 o'clock tonight when, Britta, the polls close.
And if you're getting ready to vote along the coast, watch out for fog. This is a live look into Galveston. We'll get you through the foggy start, talk about your rodeo forecast, and a stormy Wednesday.
And that fog's going to be a bit of an issue if you're out on the roads as well. Watch out for that going in or off the causeway towards Galveston. We'll also take a live look at drive times and metro rides that are free today if you're headed to the polls. I'll have more coming up.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Davis live at Rodeo Houston. We have moved over to Ag Adventure and the petting zoo. These guys really want me to come inside, but the gate is locked. They're like it's way too early. We've heard the rooster crowing, letting us all know that it is time to wake up and get ready for the first day of Rodeo Houston. We've got a whole lot more coming up.
All right, we're back. Big day in Houston. Thank you. Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo kicks off today.
It does. Channel 2's Amy Davis has already been out there busting down the gates to get things started. So, Amy, tell us what the families need to know before they head out there.
I mean, you know, where to park, we covered in our 5 o'clock hour. Tickets that are remaining, there are a lot of shows that still have seats remaining. So basically your big headliners, Lizzo was sold out, but you can even still get those on the secondary market. But we want to show you something brand new here in Ag Venture, and this is the parakeet encounter. I mean, who would have thought rodeo and parakeets? But you can actually go inside this exhibit and you can feed these parakeets. Very cute. It's brand new this year. All children have to be accompanied by an adult. They say, you know, you get in there, you don't run, you move slowly, be aware of your surroundings. And if you are coming with kids, you should know that Free Family Wednesday is every Wednesday of the rodeo. So basically, you can take any seniors 60 and over and children 12 and under are free. That doesn't include the rodeo or concert admission. That just includes here for the livestock show and to get into the carnival grounds. But what's different about it this year is that you need to get here by noon. And once you're here by noon, you can stay for the rest of the day. But they're trying to sort of alleviate some of the congestion that they see every year by allowing people in free until 7. So get here by noon. You can stay all day. Your kids, your seniors 60 and over are free to get in. We are live at Rodeo Houston. I'm Amy Davis, KPRC Channel 2 News.
All right, thank you, Amy. Coming up, the field narrows once again for Decision 2020. Who's out and who they're endorsing. We are live from D.C. with all of that coming up. And of course, don't forget our KPRC phone bank happening this morning. We started taking calls just about 10 minutes ago, starting at 6 a.m., but they're not going to stop until 7 o'clock this evening when the polls close. You can call the number on your screen if you have any questions about casting your ballot.
Gift card.
Well, here we are back at 6:15. We love giving kids scholarships, here from KPRC Channel 2 and Texas Mattress Makers. It's tough to top this, though. University of Houston is offering incoming freshmen free rides. The huge deal is for students whose families make less than $65,000 a year. It's part of the Cougar Promise program, which also has helped students whose parents make up to $125,000 a year. But either way, it's a new benefit for incoming students at UH.
Time right now is 6:15. Turning now to Decision 2020. The KPRC Super Tuesday phone bank is open right now. You can see people out there taking calls. So if you have any questions about how to vote or where, give us a call. The number is listed right there on your screen, 713-778-8920. We will have people there until 7 o'clock tonight to answer any questions that you have about Decision 2020. But the race for the White House looking a bit different today as voters head out to the polls. NBC's Tracy Potts joins us now live. So Tracy, tell us who's in and who's out now.
So a couple of things. Joe Biden is in, and he's trying to catch up with Bernie Sanders, who's the front runner now. But Amy Klobuchar, senator from Minnesota, which is voting today, and former Mayor Pete Buttigieg of South Bend, both of them have now dropped out and endorsed Biden. So he's getting some momentum there going into Super Tuesday. Also of note today, as 14 states vote for this big chunk of the delegates needed to win, 2/3 of the delegates needed to win, will be awarded in these contests today. We will see on the ballot for the first time Michael Bloomberg. He's been in debates. He's been all over the airwaves paying for these advertisements. But today is the first test of what voters think about Bloomberg. And then, of course, there's Elizabeth Warren. She'll be watching her home state of Massachusetts voting today and hoping to pick up enough delegates to keep her campaign alive.
All right, thank you, Tracy. And coming up on the Today Show, an exclusive live interview with former Democratic candidate Amy Klobuchar. She sits down with Savannah Guthrie in her first interview since dropping out of the race and endorsing Joe Biden. That is straight ahead on Today.
6:17, let's get you out the door. Traffic and weather. Stapleton's in, and Britta's got dense fog.
Yep, so you need to give yourself that extra time out the door. So watch out for fog this morning. If you are planning on voting later today, you want to have your umbrella with you because showers are in the forecast. That is a live look at the Southwest Freeway. Not looking bad closer to home. In fact, if you're moving in from Sugar Land, you don't have to worry about fog, but you don't have to go too far to really start to see the visibility tank. One of those locations directly at the coast, the sea fog is very thick this morning. You're down to 1/4 of a mile, and you do have a dense fog advisory for the barrier islands until 10 o'clock in the morning. Away from the coast, no advisory, but look at some of the visibilities. 1/2 mile in Brenham, 1.25 miles in Columbus, our west counties. It is very soupy. You'll see some improvements closer to 10 o'clock this morning. Meanwhile, this afternoon, expect mostly cloudy skies. It's going to be warm, muggy, a 30% chance of an afternoon shower. It shouldn't be overly heavy, no severe weather. That's holding off until tomorrow. Take a look at this huge spin of low pressure moving into Baja. That is pushing into North Mexico, and that will be the culprit of the strong thunderstorms that we're expecting for tomorrow. So here's the timeline. Getting the kids out the door this morning, just take extra caution with the fog, especially in the school zones. Then this afternoon, have your umbrella with you. There will be widely scattered showers, but we'll see a few out there. Also, a few breaks of sunshine, and temperatures will be warm, 80 degrees, so just like yesterday. As we go into tomorrow's forecast for the morning commute, I'm not expecting too many issues. We'll see a few showers, but nothing too heavy. The heavy stuff is moving in for lunchtime. And look at that line of showers and storms. It's not going to rain the entire afternoon, but our widely scattered downpours, they can produce severe weather. We're running about a 5% chance of seeing hail or gusty winds. The majority of us will just experience a downpour and also thunder and lightning. As we move into the evening forecast, this is 7 p.m. We still have those storms in the forecast. It's not until about 10 o'clock at night that will completely clear out. Behind this weather system, though, a really nice clear out. So it's just Wednesday that we have to deal with. Thursday and Friday, we're on the backside of that system. North wind will clear out the skies, bringing some cooler temperatures and spectacular weather for the first week in a rodeo. So there's a full look at that 10-day forecast. Just don't forget to spring forward. It's happening this weekend. Over to you.
Thank you very much, B. It certainly is, and we've got some improvement as well. That heavy truck I mentioned before that was jackknifed on 45, that has cleared. Here's a live look at the Southwest Freeway at Buffalo Speedway. So if you're either going inbound or outbound, A-OK so far. That's certainly good news. That is cleared, as I mentioned. Still some slows as you get into that area, so we'll kind of keep a watch on that. I want to show you a couple of different cameras as well. This is the I-10 east at Gregg. Let's see if we can get that to go. Here we go. Looking pretty good as you head in towards downtown. The skyline a little fogged over as well. And then finally, as we work our way from the Gulf Freeway San Jacinto, notice that things are still a little slow, but at least it's improving. That's certainly good news. So as that clears, we've got a couple of stalls out there, and we're also looking at some real heavy fog as you get down towards Galveston. So in and over the causeway getting onto the island, and of course, as you get from Texas City out to Lamarck and then over towards Bayou Vista, you get out of that fog, but just give yourself a little bit of extra time. Same thing on the west side. We're seeing some heavy fog from Hempstead, the 290 corridor, right down to Sealy, the Brookshire, Fulshire area, down to Wallace and East Bernard, and then as it checks up with 99 the Grand Parkway. So far, so good across much of the area. Notice we've got just a little bit of slows on the typical spots where you kind of combine the two different highways, but for the most part, 31 minutes now from Kingwood, 70 coming in from Pearland, 27 out from Katy, and if you're coming in from the Woodlands, it's going to take you about a half hour.
All right, over to me now. Thank you for that, Justin. I am live now in our KPRC lobby. Look at this. All of these people from the League of Women Voters Houston taking calls about Super Tuesday and the big election day. So right now, Rita with the League of Women Voters is here to answer some questions about it. So thanks for joining us today. Thanks for being out here.
We're so happy to be here.
So can you tell us what voters need to know?
So today is primary day, which means that if you're Republican, you're going to vote in the Republican primary. If you're Democrat, you're voting in the Democratic primary. Independents can choose one in Texas.
And what kind of calls have you been taking? You've been taking calls since 6 o'clock, so about 20 minutes now.
Right. People want to know where they can go vote. They have questions about voter ID law and where they can find information about the candidates and measures on their ballot.
Nice. And it is a big day for several states, including Texas, here with Super Tuesday.
It's huge. There are actually 12 states having their primaries today, so it's a really big day for candidates in both parties.
All right. Thank you for joining us. And again, this will be open until 7 o'clock this evening. Back to you, Owen.
All right. Tonight, thank you. One of the biggest festivals in the country is losing support fast because of the coronavirus crisis. Facebook and Twitter have already pulled out. Maribel's ahead with the story. She's here live now. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Organizers of South by Southwest say the show next week in Austin will go on. I'll tell you what they're doing to ensure it's safe. That's Head Live from the NASDAQ market site in Times Square.
Hey guys, I am live inside the birthing center here at Rodeo Houston. Look what I have. This little piggy was born 4 days ago. He's so tiny. You can come out with your family and check out the birthing center and all the animals here in Ag Venture. We've got a lot more to tell you about coming up. Hey.
Turning now to Decision 2020, the KPRC Super Tuesday phone bank happening right now. So if you have any questions about how to vote or even where, you can give us a call. The number is right there on your screen, 713-778-8920. We're going to have people there until 7 o'clock tonight to answer any questions you have about Decision 2020.
South by Southwest is right around the corner if it survives another week. Plus, stocks rebound on the hopes of containing the novel coronavirus. Let's check in with Maribel. More business news live from the NASDAQ market site in Times Square. Good morning.
Good morning, Owen. Stocks bounced back from last week's selling with a powerful rally yesterday. The Dow surged 1,293 points, its biggest point gain ever, and a 5% jump. NASDAQ and the S&P 500 both posted gains of about 4.5%. So why? Well, the rally came on expectations the Federal Reserve and other central banks will cut interest rates and take other measures to boost economic growth as the coronavirus spreads. As for where the buying will continue today, right now, it looks like futures are pointing to higher open. Dow futures up about 200 points. Meanwhile, Facebook is dropping out of the South by Southwest conference due to the coronavirus. And Twitter also said it is not attending the event either. Organizers of South by Southwest say the conference is still scheduled to go on, and it's working with officials to plan for a safe event. The conference is due to start late next week in Austin, Texas. Ona Tanaya, a lot of companies rethinking their travel policies. Unfortunately, I won't be with you guys next week for that very reason, but it means rain check, and I'll get there before Christmas, 297 days away.
Of course.
You always know when it is. All right, thank you, Mayor. I know we're bummed out you can't come, but safety first, of course. Well, a deadly tornado wreaks havoc across parts of Nashville.
Coming up, the rising death toll from that overnight storm. We're tracking what happened this morning.
And I'm health reporter Haley Hernandez. The latest on coronavirus and when we could have answers about that staff member from Rice University coming up.
And so far, we're looking A-OK. That traffic nightmare we saw downtown was cleared. We're looking good on the North Loop at Shepherd, but the fog is going to be an issue, especially if you're coming in from Galveston, right, Britta?
Yeah, it's one spot that you really want to take a little extra caution. We're looking great on the Southwest Freeway, but at the coast, we're down to a quarter of a mile. Another spot you want to take some extra caution are West counties. We're down to about a mile in Katy, also in Columbus. Take it slow on I-10. Sloppy streets in the forecast for tomorrow. We have strong storms on the way. I'll time it out coming up.
Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Today.
Breaking news this morning, a high-speed chase ends in a horrific, violent crash. 5 people are hurt, some left fighting for their lives. How 3 children were at the center of the chase.
Texans head to the polls today for Super Tuesday. What you need to know and why your ballot could look a little different than you might have thought.
And Channel 2 weather for the Super Tuesday. A warm start, a foggy one as well. Britta's got the murky forecast.
Hey, I'm Amy Davis at Rodeo Houston at Ag Venture. We are live in the birthing center with these little piggies that are 4 days old. I love them, but I think they love their mama more. We're going to put him back in here, and we're going to show you much more from Rodeo Houston coming up.
Oh, he's like, put me back, Amy. I'm hungry. I want my breakfast. It's my breakfast.
He was like,
he's
hey.
like, get me out of here. Well, good morning, everyone. It is Super Tuesday, 6:31 now. I'm Tanaya Wright.
I'm Owen Confletti. Good morning. Stapleton, how's traffic out there?
You know, we're doing okay. The fog's the biggest issue, obviously. So I'm going to show you a couple of pictures, especially on the causeway. If you're going in or out from the island, it's really socked in down there. So be ready for that. But that heavy truck accident we saw downtown has cleared. So now it's just everyone behave out on the roads this morning.
Yeah, yes, a reminder, too, our phone bank's going on out in the lobby right now. If you've got any questions as you head out for Super Tuesday. The polls open at 7 a.m., so you got about a half hour to get ready and go. But the numbers are on the screen for both English and Spanish. They can't tell you who to vote for, but everything up until that point, they can help you out if you need to know where to go and what you need to bring with you. Sure.
All that good stuff. Bring your umbrella. We're expecting a few showers. This morning, it's fairly dry. It's really the fog that we're battling. But as we get after lunchtime, we'll be tracking a few showers outside. Let's give you a look at what it looks like outside on our tower camera. Overcast skies, but fog is not an issue. Moving in from the southwest side. Again, it's our outlying communities that you really have to take a little extra caution this morning. Along the island, we do have a dense fog advisory until 10 a.m. That is a very thick spot. You're down to a quarter of a mile in Galveston. Meanwhile, our west county is about a half mile to a mile visibility. So if you're coming in from Columbus, Sealy, Brookshire, Fulshire, you really need to make sure that you're taking it slow. Here's a full look at your day today. We're waking up to 70 degrees. It is warm. It's humid. It's going to be a muggy afternoon at 80 degrees, and we have a 30% chance of an afternoon shower. If you get caught, we're not expecting severe weather, but you will need your umbrella. That will be changing tomorrow. We are still looking at the threat of severe weather. I'll take you through the timeline coming up. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Britta. Now, also, if you are trying to get to the polls today, Metro is offering free rides to and from the polling stations. If you want to find the route for you, just go to ridemetro.org. We've got it on our clicktohouston.com/traffic page as well. So let's take a look at what's happening over towards the West Loop. This is at Post Oak. Moving southbound, A-OK, northbound up towards I-10. We're looking good as well. But here's what I wanted to show you. This is what we were looking at as we worked our way down towards the Gulf Freeway. And that's a part of the problem is I do think we're going to be dealing with a decent amount Well, it looks like we're not going there. No problem. I'll show it to you like this. So anywhere from Bayou Vista as you go over across the causeway, that's where Britta has said that we've got about a quarter-mile visibility. So 275 towards 87 if you're going over to the Bolivar, same story. Texas City as you get out towards Lamarck and then moving inbound, it gets a little better, but still some heavy fog back off to the west as well. So certainly keep a watch on that. Start to see really pick up from about Jensen Street, Lyons, all the way in through downtown on 59. So just give yourself a little bit of extra time there as well. And of course, the checkup on I-10 as you head in towards the Jensen Street exit. So we've got 35 in from Kingwood, 25 in from Baytown for all our East Siders, 27 in from Clear Lake. And right now, if you're coming out from the Katy Cinco Ranch area, it's going to take about 32 minutes, guys.
All right, Stapleton, 6:33 now. Breaking news this morning. A high-speed chase ends in a violent crash, leaving 5 people hurt, including children who were the ones being chased by police.
Channel 2 Sophia Ojeda is live right now on Scott and Tristan, where that chase ended in southeast Houston. So, Sophia, you recently spoke with a man whose vehicle was stolen and used in this chase.
Good morning, guys. That man says that he was trying to help out a bunch of kids. He was actually giving them a ride home or trying to get them home. And that's when they say that they jumped out. He jumped out to stop at a convenience store. And that's when those kids allegedly stole his car. Take a look at the scene here behind me. It's just about clearing here on Scott Street. I want Xavier to zoom in there to the back of that wrecker truck there. That is the engine. That is the mangled piece of engine left from that wreck. And it's in a bunch of pieces. These cars are getting ready to be towed away. Now, investigators say this all went down just after midnight. The kids, we are told, asked the Good Samaritan for a ride home. He went inside the store, left the keys in the car. That's when the 17-year-old driver took off with the 16-year-old and child in the back seat. Investigators say they wouldn't stop when police tried to pull them over. The victim's car was coming out from a side street. That's when the stolen car slammed into her and another man inside. The stolen vehicle going more than 100 miles an hour. That owner of that stolen car says he was just trying to help out a bunch of kids.
I realized that they're children, so I should probably get them out of the neighborhood. I mean, it just seemed like it's not that great of a neighborhood. It just seemed like I should probably help them get them home.
I just got off the phone with her brother a few minutes ago, and he said he's in critical condition.
Back out here live taking a look at what's left of this crash here. Again, that white car, that is the stolen vehicle. The record trucks are about to clear this scene here. Again, we know that man and woman in a silver car, what's left of the silver car, they are in critical condition this morning. The 2 teenagers and child were also sent to the hospital. They are expected to survive. That driver now facing more than 100 years behind bars. Reporting live in Southeast Houston, Sophia Ojeda, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Power flash right there. The tornado is coming. All right, Dan. There it is. Go inside. Now, get inside.
Some of the moments of powerful tornado hit our sister station in Nashville, Tennessee overnight. At least 7 people are dead. Dozens of structures collapsed after the violent storms. The National Weather Service says the twister stayed on the ground for 10 miles. Nearly 50,000 people are reportedly without electricity. Several families are recalling the terrifying moments that is when the tornado hit.
So we're running down the hallway, the ceiling is just caving in, just debris everywhere, and water is just pouring from the ceiling and like waterfalls into the hallways.
We just grabbed the baby and tried to pack everything up as fast as we could.
Emergency crews are still searching through debris for possible victims. This all comes within hours of voters hitting the polls for Super Tuesday in that state. Officials with the Nashville Election Commission are checking to see if polling sites might have been damaged.
A family in Spring forced out of their home after an early morning fire. This all happened on Oakmasters Drive. Klein Fire Department says that a dog died inside of that home. They say that the roof had already collapsed by the time they got there. One firefighter was injured, but we're told that firefighter is expected to be okay. The cause of that fire remains under investigation this morning.
Patricia Ann Garcia is due back in court for a hearing today. Garcia is accused of making the fake 911 call that triggered the Harding Street raid. Last week, a judge ordered her to remain in federal custody after she was arrested for violating her bond. Garcia was a neighbor of Dennis Tuttle and Regina Nicholas. They were both killed in the raid.
Turning now Now to Decision 2020. Super Tuesday is now here, but there are a few things you need to know before you head out there and vote.
So Harris County voters have a lot of options, being able to vote anywhere in the county for one. Metro's also offering free rides to get you there. Our Vincent Crivelli breaks it all down live. Vincent, a bit has changed for some candidates too since early voting.
Well, that's right. Plus, voters, they have to bring the right identification and go to the right polling place. Plus, they should do their homework on the candidates. Texas has a whopping 228 delegates up for grabs, a major state in the race for the Democratic nomination. Senator Bernie Sanders is leading in the polls. However, former Vice President Joe Biden is now surging with momentum after former rivals Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg dropped out and gave their support to Biden. And the Texas Republican primary, voters will decide who will replace outgoing Congressman Pete Olson in District 22. Fort Bend County Sheriff Troy Nails, Pierce Bush, and Kathleen Wall are among some of the candidates trying to win the seats.
In a lot of races, what we're going to be watching locally are, does someone win more than 50% plus one and avoid a May runoff? And if they don't, which two candidates will be facing off in May?
And another race to watch, Democratic challengers are trying to force Harris County DA Kim Ogg into a May runoff. Reporting live in Sunnyside, Vincent Crivelli, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Okay, Vincent, thank you. The race for the Democratic nomination, of course, could really start to pan out today. Bernie Sanders leads the polls by a handful of delegates, or leads, that is, in the delegate count by just a handful. Joe Biden picked up a lot of support this week from former candidates now, Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar, who endorsed him. President Trump blasted those endorsements for Joe Biden at a rally yesterday, comparing them to his own impeachment drama.
They made a deal. You know why? Quid pro quo. That's why. No good. Quid pro quo. Quid pro quo. They made a deal. Impeach them. They should be impeached. They should be impeached.
Here in Texas, Bernie Sanders is leading according to a Real Clear Politics average of statewide polls with about 31%, 30.5%. Joe Biden at 26%, followed by Warren and Bloomberg. For more on Super Tuesday and Decision 2020, stay with us here throughout the morning and online at click2houston.com.
Developing in the coronavirus crisis, 6 people have now died here in the United States after an outbreak of the novel coronavirus in Washington state. 4 of those deaths at a nursing home right near Seattle, and now 4 other cases have been linked to the facility. More than 100 cases have been reported nationwide, with a number of them in Texas after overseas evacuees were sent to San Antonio.
6:40, still no infections reported here in Houston. We're going to get to Haley Hernandez now with more on the developments we've had. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. So this morning we are still waiting on test results from that one researcher at Rice University. His test kit is expected to land at CDC labs in Atlanta today. The results could come anywhere from 1 to 3 days after the test is analyzed. Rice says this researcher had contact with 17 people, ranging from faculty and staff to doctoral students. They've been urged to self-quarantine until further notice. Now, here's what the rodeo is doing to prevent the spread of germs and bacteria. It is increasing the number of hand sanitizer stations throughout Ag Venture, the Junction, the Carnival, and several food tents. Signs will be encouraging guests to wash their hands after eating, drinking, and touching animals or other surrounding environments, just healthy habits. They are also encouraging people to, of course, stay home if you're sick. Now, worldwide, infections have topped 90,000, with more than 3,100 dead from the virus. The World Health Organization spoke yesterday saying health officials are in uncharted territory. They've refused to call the novel coronavirus a global pandemic, but say that could be coming. China has the worst of the outbreak with 80,000 cases and 2,900 deaths. South Korea is up to 4,800 infections and 29 deaths. And Iran is at 1,500 cases with 66 deaths. Italy and Japan have also seen large outbreaks with 2,000 cases for Italy and almost 1,000 for Japan. But for more on the novel coronavirus outbreak and its impact specifically here in Houston, be sure to stay with us on air and online at click2houston.com. Of course, there's updates coming out every day from our health department. They are watching this closely.
They really are. I was just at the airport and lots of people with the sanitizer and the mask. It just It's a big, majorly different scene than what you're used to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's mind. 6:42. Let's check in with Britta here. Get our weather forecast for this Tuesday.
Yeah, a different look at the coast right now. Thick fog. Typically, you would see Pleasure Pier. Can't even make it out. So our visibility is down below 3/4 of a mile at the coast. Make sure that you're taking that extra caution. We are also seeing some very thick fog in our west counties, and they have expanded the dense fog advisory until 10 o'clock in the morning for the majority of southeast Texas. Only our north counties not involved in this. One little thing I do want to point out, Washington County, you're not included, but Brenham, you're down to about a half-mile visibility, so even take caution in Washington County despite the fact that you're not included in that advisory. We're not looking too bad on the southwest side of Harris County. Some light patchy fog here along the Southwest Freeway. Temperatures are warm. We're at 70 degrees. We're going to top off at 80 degrees this afternoon, and we have a 30% chance of a stray shower. Our stray showers this afternoon are going to bleed into the evening forecast. If you're heading out to the first night of rodeo, have a great time. Just have your umbrella with you. We'll dry things out during the show itself, and temperatures will be warm. We'll be in the 70s as you bring in Midland and enjoy a great night. We have some big changes for the weekend. Good changes. You're going to like it, Justin. We'll be back with that.
I certainly will. That is for sure. Thank you very much, Britta. Let's talk to Time Saver Traffic. Here's a live look at the Tiki Island, the Gulf Freeway going out towards the island there, as this is kind of the dense fog that Britta was talking about, where things are just a little messy out there. 288 at Alameda Genoa. We've got a stall over on the right-hand side there. Obviously, it's just checking up traffic a little bit. No more than what we'd normally see on a busy Tuesday morning. And then I-10 East at Gregg looking good so far, but there's downtown in there somewhere. That also is fairly fogged up. We've got a new accident. This is at 225 in the East Loop. Notice that it is checking things up, moving back over towards Allendale there. It looks like that's Cunningham Road. Otherwise, your drive times look A-OK so far, but we're starting to pick up in some spots, including Kingwood, where we're at 36 minutes, 37 in the Woodlands, and 33 coming in from Sugar Land, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Well, a big stumble for the Rockets, a loss not seen in years.
What happened at Madison Square Garden? More on the shocking loss coming up.
And of course, don't forget our KPRC phone bank happening today until 7 o'clock tonight. The number to call, this is for Decision 2020. The number is 713-778-8920. Spanish speakers can call 713-778-8930. Volunteers with the League of Women Voters Houston are here, ready to answer your questions all morning long and pretty much all day, again until 7, about Super Tuesday, including what you need to bring to the polls.
I'm Amy Davis live at Rodeo Houston. We are showing you one of the brand new shows here. This is Extreme Dogs. When you can catch them, how you can see them, and they're rescue dogs. We've got so much more coming up when we come back.
Turning to Decision 2020, the KPRC Super Tuesday phone bank open right now. So if you have any questions about how to vote or even where, you can give them a call. The number's on your screen, 713-778-8920. We're going to have people out there answering your calls until 7 o'clock tonight to answer anything you need to know about Decision 2020, as I mentioned, including where to vote, what you need to vote. We've got everything.
All right, you know, it is day one of the Houston Rodeo. I want to get you outside. It's the 648 Britta's forecast. It's a big day for voting. Just a big day all around. What do we got besides the dense fog this morning?
Yeah, you know, it's really about the fog this morning, and then as we go into the afternoon, we'll kind of transition to a different type of weather. We're going to be experiencing some scattered showers later today, so be prepared for all of it. This is a live look at the coast. Typically, you would see Pleasure Pier in the background on this shot from Galveston.com. Can't even make it out, so please take that extra caution, especially for school drop-off this morning. Watch those school zones. Meanwhile, we do have some light patchy fog on the southwest side of town, but notice that it's not as thick coming in from Fort Bend County, moving into the southwest side of Harris County. That's a live look right now at the Southwest Freeway. This is going to be ebbing and flowing throughout the morning, but just make sure that you have that extra drive time. We're at a 1/4 mile in Galveston. Notice that Brenham, you're down to a ½ mile. That's actually one location that's not included in the dense fog advisory, but take that extra caution. Everyone highlighted in gray, you have the advisory up through 10 o'clock this morning. Meanwhile, this afternoon, warm and muggy, 80 degrees. Well, it breaks the sunshine, but it's going to be a mostly cloudy day, a few showers possible. The big weather day is tomorrow. We have a huge spin of low pressure moving in our direction. That's going to provide the chance of severe weather. So let me take it hour by hour, getting the kids out the door to school. We just have the fog to deal with, picking them up, a few showers. If you are going to be voting after school, after work, make sure you have your umbrella with you just so you're prepared. Meanwhile, as we go into Wednesday, we have those stronger storms in the the forecast. Most of those are moving in after lunchtime, lasting through the evening forecast. So the second half of tomorrow is definitely going to be more busy than the morning hours. But behind that system, we're going to clear out nicely. Look at your 10-day forecast. We are looking fantastic. We'll be slightly cooler, beautiful sunshine, gorgeous weather as we head into the first full weekend of rodeo. Just do not forget to spring forward. It's that time of year. Justin, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Britta. We've got a new accident that I want to talk to you about. This is over at 225 in the East Loop at Goodyear. That is where we're going to be dealing with at least a couple of checkups and slows. Let me show you what it looks like on the camera here. In about 2 seconds, we'll get that. And we've got one vehicle, but it's over on the right shoulder, right lane. That's what it looks like. And notice that it has everybody kind of pushing over towards the left side as well. So we've got at least 3 or 4 different emergency vehicles involved in this as well. So if I were you, if you're in that area, I would try to hop up to Clinton and then work your way towards the East Loop from there. That's probably the best advice, at least in that area, as things are going to continue to check up fairly quickly. Meanwhile, we've got 25 minutes that is in from Cypress, 34 from Katy. And if you're coming in from Pearland, starting to check up there as well, we've got 25 minutes on 288.
The Rockets winning streak crashed and burned last night in a stunning loss to the Knicks. The Beard put up 35 points, but that just was not enough. Knicks survived at the Garden 125-123. The Rockets host the Clippers on Thursday at 7.
And coming up, a final check of traffic and weather as we head out this Tuesday morning.
Store.
Breaking this morning, police say 5 people seriously injured after a stolen vehicle chased right through southeast Houston.
Channel 2 Sophia Ojeda live from Scott Street near Tristan, where the chase ended in a dangerous crash. Sophia?
Good morning. A man tells Channel 2 that 3 kids walked up to him and asked him for a ride at a nearby convenience store. He went inside the store and he came out. That's when he says they stole his car. Now, investigators say it was a 17-year-old behind the wheel with a 16-year-old and a child under 12 in the back seat of that stolen white car. Investigators say the kids took off on a high-speed chase and would not stop for police. That's when they slammed into the silver car with a man and woman inside here on Scott Street. Those 2 victims are now in the hospital, both fighting for their lives. The teens and child also sent to the hospital. They are expected to survive. That driver now facing a slew of charges, up to 100 years behind bars. Reporting live in Southeast Houston, Sophia Ojeda, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Today is Super Tuesday, so people in 14 states, including right here in Texas, will head to the polls.
Channel 2's Vincent Crivelli's at one of those polling locations in Sunnyside, where it opens in about 5 minutes. Vincent?
Yeah, good morning. That's right. The polls are about to open in a lot of important races this morning. Voters have a lot to decide. Joe Biden is now surging with momentum after capturing endorsements from Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar, who gave them their support yesterday after dropping out of the race. Now, also, the Republican primary will decide who will take over Congressman Pete Olson's ticket for District 22. A lot to decide this morning, guys. No voters have lined up so far, but we're expecting a lot very soon. For now, reporting live in Sunnyside, Vincent Crivelli, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
All right, Vincent. And a huge day as we begin the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
Amy Davis is there this morning to get things kicked off. So, Amy, we've heard you've made some friends out there.
Oh my gosh, I have. These are extreme dogs. It's brand new at the rodeo this year. This is Dee, and who is your friend?
This is Bliss. She is a rescued cattle dog all the way from Puerto Rico. We found her at the beach.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And what is so cool, we're going to show you what you can expect to see in 4 shows at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo right here. Well, you tell us all of these dogs that perform and do these tricks are rescue dogs?
Most of them are rescues. We have a little bit of everything. We are very passionate about rescue, and we hope that if one thing people can take away from their show is to go out there, do something with their dog, but also you don't need to spend $1,000+ on your next best friend. You could go to your nearest shelter or rescue and just pick your best friend there.
Yeah, and a lot of these things that we've seen, I mean, how long does it take for you to train these dogs?
Training really never stops, but it really just depends on dogs. I have dogs that in a month, they're comfortable and able to perform. I have specifically one dog, he's our senior dog, he's 12 years old and still wants to play. It took me 5 years to get him to be comfortable out here.
Well, we can't wait to see extreme dogs here out at Rodeo Houston. 4 shows a day. We hope you've shown you everything there is to do out here at Rodeo Houston. You got to come check it out. Opening day is today. Blitz says, please get out here. We're live at Rodeo Houston. I'm Amy Davis, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Adopt, don't shop.
Exactly.
All right, Amy.
They are the best ones. Let's go to Justin now with a check on the roads.
Thank you very much, T. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. I love it. So we've still got that one accident. This is a 225 at Goodyear moving towards the East Loop. As I mentioned, it's moved over, so Folks are getting through. It's just going to take a little bit of extra time, though. So as I mentioned before, if you can get up towards Galena Park as you get into Clinton Drive, that'll take you over towards the East Loop. Elsewhere, though, pretty much just seeing the general slowdowns, not only across Mission Bend on the West Park, but same thing on the Katy Freeway. And obviously, the fog, as Bert has been mentioning this morning, is the big issue. Here are your drive times right now. 38 from the Woodlands, 35 from Katy, 26 in from Pearland, and Eastsiders, Baytown, as you're working your way in towards downtown. It's going to take about 27 minutes. Brenna?
And we're tracking fog. Here's a live look into Galveston. A dense fog advisory has been issued until 10 a.m. for the majority of our area. We're also tracking some very soupy conditions in our west counties. Katy, you're down to a half mile. After 10 o'clock in the morning, we'll see some improvements. I mean, that's a live look at the Southwest Freeway. We'll even see breaks of sunshine later this afternoon, but have your umbrella handy. We'll have a few showers out there. It's going to be warm and muggy at 80 degrees tomorrow. We're still tracking that threat of severe weather. Severe weather aware on Wednesday.
It's not exciting, but it's cold cuts day.
Right. Hey, take them when you go out there to vote.